Hey Baylor fans, this is your call to gear up with Harley-Davidson of Waco. Whether you're hitting the open road or tailgating at McLean Stadium, we've got the ride to match your Bear pride. Check out our wide selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, visit our service department, or shop all the latest gear and accessories to show off your Baylor spirit and Harley pride. Visit us today and find your freedom on two wheels. Harley-Davidson of Waco, where Baylor fans never ride alone. Visit in-store or at hdwaco.com. Sic Em Bears. Hi, everybody, and welcome into this week's Sic Em Podcast presented by Harley-Davidson of Waco. You like that?
Rev it up.
Harley-Davidson of Waco. We're revving it up with Baylor baseball. Season is here. Coach Mitch Thompson is with us today. Thanks for being with us.
Glad to be here.
This is fun. Yeah. Looking forward to the year. Man, a lot of excitement. Do you feel it around Baylor baseball going into this season?
I'm very excited. I'm chomping at the bit to get started. We've got 2 weeks to go, and we're going to try and use every day in preparation, but I'm really excited to see these kids get out here, this team get out here and start competing.
Can we put down bad weather on February 14th, like we know it's coming?
We're going to put that off from February 14th.
Good.
We are now looking at the 2-week forecast, and it's perfect up until then. I'm hopeful that it'll be good throughout.
You know what it's normally like when you hit the start of the season.
Yeah, it's almost cold enough to start the season.
Yeah, that's right. It's almost there, but a great stretch for weather here. Looking forward to it. Let's go back to the fall, and many good things coming out of the fall. Talk about that a little bit. Number one, off the field with the spiritual growth of your team and the baptisms you had in the fall.
Really, the fall was fantastic. The guys came in hungry, new influx of talent. It was quick that they could see the guys on the field and start to really fit together, and I feel great about that. But yeah, we had 3 or 4 highlights for the fall that were just off the chart good, and the baptisms is one. We had 7 guys profess their faith in Christ, and it was a player-led initiative. Bob Johns and Byron Weathersby are our 2 chaplains, and they work very hard with getting to know our guys and helping to counsel our guys and to lead Bible studies and this and that. But also, then these kids just start talking, and one of the guys said to another guy, hey, I've never been baptized. I would like to be baptized. And so he says, well, let's go. And so it starts the process.
Yeah.
We ended up saying, you bet, let's do this. And we baptized 7 guys right there behind home plate. On the ballpark. That's where they wanted to do it. They asked me, I said, where do you want to do it, Coach? I said, where do they want to do it? This is kind of, I don't decide where people get married, and I'm not going to decide where you get baptized. These are personal things. So they wanted to do it behind home plate, and I was thrilled to do that. I thought it was an incredible moment for our team. And again, each player that was baptized picked out another player on our team to stand with them during that baptism as far as, this guy helped lead me to Christ.
Wow.
That's pretty powerful stuff right there.
Praise the Lord for that. And how about Bob and Byron and the impact, obviously, they're having?
Bob and Byron are unbelievable representatives of our school, but unbelievable representatives of Christ. And you've known them forever, and I've known them forever, and what a blessing it is to have those guys here.
Yeah, they love being around y'all too.
They do, and they love these kids, and the kids have learned over the last 2 or 3 years to love them. These guys, Bob and Byron will probably be marrying these guys for the next 10 years. Whenever it's time for them to walk down the aisle, there'll be a lot of that that'll be taking place.
The ones that Richard Cunningham doesn't do the service, right?
Exactly right.
They'll get the other guys.
We've got several options here, but they're definitely going to be involved with that.
Oh, well, what a great tribute to your program, the spiritual side of it, the academic side of it, classwork, kind of a record-setting fall, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's the other 2 things that were really the highlights of the fall was obviously to see the talent level continue to go and to see these guys hunger for personal development and team development and growth and improvement, not only on the field but in the weight room and in the classroom. We had a 3.52 team GPA this fall. That's a program record best. I've been around Baylor baseball for almost 30 years now, and so for the last 30 years, we've become pretty accustomed to having team GPAs over 3.0. But we've never had one at 3.52.
Right.
I mean, if I wasn't, a little concerned, it seems like we might have some rocket scientists on this group. But 3.52 team GPA with 39 of the 43 guys with a 3.0 or better. I think it says so much about them as kids. It says so much about the support people that we have here, Ryan Amadei, our SACE program, how much they invest in helping these guys get to the right place and do the right things. But, it says a whole lot about those kids, too. We got smart kids who are going to get a big-time Baylor education, who are making lifetime decisions. But 3.52 is off the chart good.
Tremendous. Really speaks to the culture of your program also.
Well, I think so, too. And mentioning the other thing that was the highlight was not only on the field but in the weight room. The guys really wanted to get strong. They feel like they needed to get strong. We know they need to get stronger. And strength is such a big thing in the game of baseball. The best players in the world knew that added strength would affect performance. That's why there was such a thing as the steroid era back in the day.
Right.
Well, our guys aren't cheating. They're busting it in the weight room. And the beauty of this is that almost every guy on our team, well, on average, every player on our team grew 212 pounds of strength this fall in their squat, their deadlift, and bench press. Add that up together, it's over 4.5 tons of added strength on our team. So Dan Darcy, our new strength coach, what an impact he's had. The guys, when the weight room creates a really unbelievable culture of brotherhood. Because you're fighting through some adversity, you're fighting through pain, you're pushing each other. And that's what we've got. So we've got competition on the field. We've got guys pushing each other in the weight room, striving for improvement, taking care of their business in the classroom, growing spiritually all around. It's been a really good fall. And I think that all those things are very good indicators for what we've got coming ahead for us in the springtime.
And added strength doesn't guarantee you no injuries. I mean, they may come, but it certainly helps, right?
It's not going to hurt.
Right, right.
Yeah, as long as we stay mobile, and they've done a great job with their flexibility and this and that as well. But yeah, added strength's going to show up. It's going to show up when you run. It's going to show up when you hit a baseball. The ball's going to travel further. It's going to show up when you're on the mound. You being able to maintain your velocity and maintain your mechanics for longer. So all those things show up consistently on the field, and the recovery part of that too.
Yeah.
Helping you recover quicker, and this is a long season. I mean, we're going to go 13, 14 weeks, right? Before we, hopefully hit postseason and continue on another couple after that. Yeah. So this is it's a long season of 4 games a week, and we need all the strength we can get.
Dan Darcy, new to the program, pretty good story of how he ended up here.
Really awesome. Dan has been phenomenal. Sean Snedeker's our new pitching coach. When I hired Sean, I mentioned to him, hey, we're needing to hire a new strength coach, a new athletics performance coach. He goes, I've got your guy. and I said, well, great. See if he's interested, I'll talk. And I had some other people in mind that I was visiting with and starting the process. And so I passed those all off to Chris Ruff in our athletic department, and Chris started the process of whittling through guys. And he immediately calls me up after he met on the phone with Dan one time. He calls me up. He goes, Coach, I'll be surprised if you interview more than one guy.
Wow.
And he said, we're bringing this guy in on this day. And I said, well, let's see. And so he brought him in. We met him, and it was a slam dunk hire. He wanted to be here, and he was phenomenal with what he had planned and how he came across. And he has been everything that we could have hoped for in that area as well. So kudos to Sean Snedeker for knowing what he had with him there, and then great for our guys. They've benefited tremendously.
That was Sned's first win already. Right?
That's right. Sned won that one.
Tell us about Coach Snedeker, new to the program, and what you liked about him that led you to bring him in.
I'll do that. But I've got a phenomenal staff. I think Zach Dillon, as our recruiting coordinator, has done a phenomenal job of continuing to improve the program talent-wise, to get our type of guys in here and continue to build the program that way. I think we'll see that on the field. Jim Blair as our third base coach, running the offense, outfield coach, helping Zach with recruiting. Those two guys were relentless this summer, relentless doing this. And then, Sean Snedeker is the new member of the staff as a pitching coach. And Sean, brings a wealth of knowledge, 30 years of coaching experience. He's a great personality, a great bedside manner, if you know what I'm talking about. He can really communicate with the guys, knows how to coach each guy individually and get the things that he wants to get out of them. And I think he's got a phenomenal relationship with our guys right now, and I'm really excited about seeing the improvements of throwing strikes, the improvements of locating your off-speed stuff, the improvements of their mentality. And I think it's going to show up. And I think our numbers on the pitching staff side are going to improve tremendously. And with the increase of talent from the help of our recruiters and everybody getting them in here, and then Sean's work with the pitchers, I think we're going to see some big time benefits there.
Wow, bring them on! I think it was at a Heart of the Order meeting, Heart of the Order, the support group specifically for Baylor baseball. But Sned was speaking. I think you were maybe introducing him to the group for the first time, and somebody said, "What's your key? What's your approach?" And he said, "Well, throw strikes."
Absolutely.
He got a standing ovation, right?
Absolutely. I'll just, I think there's three things. If I was to kind of hit on him, what three things has he done that have been the mentality of throwing strikes, trusting your stuff? If you can't throw strikes, you cannot pitch. Yeah. My goodness, if you can't pitch, you can't win. There's no doubt. So our guys have been buying into that all along, locating, hitting your spot. And from the first bullpen until now, that's been a focus. Every pitch, every throw they've made, hit your spot, locate, take care of your stuff, trust your stuff. But then he goes into two. A second thing that's huge for him is controlling the running game, not giving up free bases. Not giving up wild pitches in the dirt, moving guys from first to second, not being quick to the plate where teams don't feel like they can steal on you. And our catchers have benefited from that as well because we've got guys who can throw. But when you're 1-5 to the plate, it doesn't matter. Your throw's probably not going to matter. It's already been won. Our guys have been 1-3 to the plate consistently. We've shut that down. And our catchers are throwing people out left and right, and I think we'll shut down the running game from that aspect a lot. So that's two, and so we're hopefully eliminating a lot of the walks, eliminating the free bases, eliminating the wild pitches and the stolen bases, and that forces teams to earn everything they get. They hit it, they get it. You don't hit it, you don't get it. And so that's been a mentality part of it. And then the third thing is just being able to locate a changeup, use your changeup for a key, have a real secondary pitch that you feel very good about. And I've seen tremendous improvement in all our guys on that. So I'm anxious to see him face other people.
Right.
That's where we're at now. We've got 2 more weeks of preparation before that, but soon we'll be facing other people, and I think we'll all be smiling a lot more around here as to what's happening on the mound.
Oh, man, that's exciting to think about. You talking about your staff and a couple other guys that are a little bit behind the scenes, not full-time coaches, but Brian Furlong and Darren Thomas and Max Calderon in athletic communications.
No, I mean, seriously, everybody that we have that's touching the program is so bought in on everything that we're doing. It's phenomenal. Darren Thomas is back for his third year as our director of operations, and I don't know who we could have that could do a better job for that, while also providing me kind of a bench coach. Darren with 30 years of coaching experience and 15 years as a head coach. I love, and our staff loves, to be able to kick things off of him along the way too. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about that for a guy? Yeah. And he's got such good wisdom and such good patience with that. He's been phenomenal with that. So he's great and back for his third year. And then Brian Furlong's back as our director of player development and director of pitching development. And Brian has taken our analytics and our video, and he's taken it to a whole nother level. Brings the coaching mindset to it, having been a pitching coach in Division I baseball, but being able to analyze the data, being able to analyze our opponents, being able to properly position our team, do all these things, taking it to a whole nother level, because he's also got so much help, and he's recruited this help around the campus and around the university. Guys that are coming and working for us as managers or interns, graduate students. we've got one guy, Brady Kaz, who Brady is going to, he's going to be leaving us in the spring here and going taking a job in professional baseball.
Wow.
Grad student that's been working here for the last 2 years. He's getting a job in professional baseball and the analytics side of things. So we're excited for that. And, I think that when you start that development in people, you're going to continue to attract other good people that are going to be in there and be involved. And, our managers, our trainers, Max with communications, everybody we've got is phenomenal, and we're blessed. We're blessed. Yeah. We're blessed with the people that we've got around our kids.
Wow, all working toward the same goal, for sure. How about on the field? You talked about recruiting, and one of the highlights, not the highlight, but one of the highlights are the left-handed arms you've brought in here.
We're excited about that. 2 years ago, we had to basically turn our only left-handed pitcher. He was a walk-on outfielder, and hey, by the way, Ethan, you pitched in high school, right? You're going to pitch this spring, and he did great, and it's worked his way probably into our rotation, and being that kind of a guy, and it's been fun watching his development. But from going from not having any to having 1 to 1.5 to 2 last year, and here we go. We've now got 7.
Wow.
And we've got 7 left-handers that are filling it up, that are talented guys, good arms. I won't be surprised at all if our rotation, once we start conference is left-hander, 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 Friday, Saturday, Sunday at you. I just wouldn't be surprised. Mm-hmm. We'll see how that all plays out, but we've got that ability. And if you do that, you still got 3 or 4 lefties in the bullpen. How about that? So that'll be really cool, and these guys are all making big strides. Bryson Bales, Carson Bailey, talented guys, left-handers new to the program. Mason Green, R.J. Rouet are back after freshman years last year, all having really big moments at times. Mm-hmm. We've brought in 2 other left-handers from the junior college rank, Caleb Jamison and Stephon Stahl. And gosh, I'm leaving somebody out off the top of my head right now, and it's kind of blowing me away. I'm like, Ethan Calder. I already mentioned him earlier. Sure. But yeah, so you add all those guys up, and what you have is you've got some really talented left-handers. And I've never been a part of a team before that's had this many quality left-handed pitchers. So I'm anxious to see those guys, have complete seasons. It'd be a lot of fun.
Good. So as we record this podcast, you still have time, but do you see your weekend rotation set already, or is the competition still going there?
The competition's still going. It's not that it's set. I think the whole key for us is just going to be place the guys in the right spot. Gotcha. Friday night's obviously important. It's usually number ones against number ones. And that's huge, As long as your number one matches up with everybody else's number one, then you're great with that. But Saturday becomes a huge deal in a 3-game series too, because if you win Friday night, then Saturday you can win the series. So Saturday's game's huge. If you lose Friday night, Saturday's bounce back day. So there's been times before. I know in 2005. We're in the Super Regional, and we've got Mark McCormick as our ace. Well, Mark McCormick pitched on Saturday in the Super Regional. And the reason was, if we win on Friday night, we want Mark to go win it for us. If we lose on Friday night, we want Mark to get us back in it so we can win it on Sunday. And, so there'll be some juggling there. We've got 4, 5, 6 guys that are kind of in the mix that can be considered for that Friday, Saturday, Sunday start right now. And I think we'll be pleased with however it ends up.
Nice to have options.
It's great to have options.
It hadn't always been that way.
No, it hasn't, and it's great to have options and have guys that you feel like are going to take the ball and run with it. I think we'll be getting much deeper into games as we get everybody, continue to get them into shape. We're building them up right now. They'll be at 3 innings this weekend, maybe 4 innings next weekend, maybe hopefully 5 innings, on an opening day weekend. But if you can start to consistently get 5, 6 innings out of your starters, man, it shrinks the game. And we've definitely got guys in the bullpen that can then come in and take over an inning here and an inning there and get us through the game, and then be ready to go again for the next day.
Wow.
5, 6 innings out of the starters is going to help. It's a lot better than 3 or 4, or 2 or 3 or 4 innings.
No question.
I'm excited about what we got.
How about your position players? You got a lot of guys returning this year. Nice core of returning guys.
Really got a nice core. It starts in our outfield. Ty Johnson center field, Enzo Apodaca right field, Wesley Jordan left field. All three were our 3 top hitters last year. All 3 are back. All 3 are better. All 3 are stronger. I'm excited for them. They bring big strength. All 3 hit over 300 last year, so we're expecting big things from them. You then go to the infield, and you've got Court Castle behind the plate, back for probably his 3rd year as a starter type guy. Great experience behind the plate. Third base, Hunter Toplansky's back. Shortstop, Tyreek Kemp is back. First base, Will Pendergrass. We're also moved Hunter Simmons and Gavin Brzezowski are fiddling around at first base. Gavin's still out in the outfield some. Likely one of those guys, Will Pendergrass, Hunter Simmons, Gavin will be at the DH, and another one will play first base. So, you start looking around, you go, well, those are 6 or 7 starters. And the beauty of it is just this, in college baseball now, it's so important to be old. 23-year-old kids beat 18-year-old kids. They just do. Physically beat them. And so for the most part, we're going to basically have senior all over that field. Cool. Experience, guys who have had some success and are continuing to grow and are continuing to be hungry. But we've also got guys who are challenging them right now, young guys. In the outfield, several guys are challenging and doing good things. Hunter Snow's out there. Samuel Jenkins is out there as freshmen. Big, strong, physical guys. You look at them, you go, ooh, they got bright futures. In the infield, Jack Little's back from injury at second base, but we have Travis Sanders, who is a part-time starter at Texas Tech and a 14th rounder out of high school, really talented guy. Brighton Clements is a freshman shortstop that's going to be a good player, man. I don't know how much he's going to get to see this year, but it's going to be a good player. Pearson Reebok. There's just a lot of different guys as freshmen that are kind of pushing, and you're going to get to see them. We're going to play them, and we'll see where it all goes. But I'm excited not only about our age, but I'm excited about the youth that's in our program and the ability that they're showing. I think there's really good days ahead for those guys as well.
Among the returners, and you mentioned some of them, guys coming back from injury like Hunter and like Jack Little, those guys on track to be back full speed? They
are, and it's been, most of them have had almost full falls as well. It was great to see Hunter Simmons get back on the field this fall. He's not running quite like he was last year, but it's real close.
Good.
After that kind of an injury and seeing that happen, it says so much about him and how he's gone about his rehab. It says so much about Josh Barnhill and our medical team and how they took care of him. Initially, how they took care of the injury, how they've rehabbed him up. But he's back. He's healthy. Gavin Brzezowski's knee is healthy. Jack Little is healthy. Will Pendergrass is healthy. Those are 4 guys that were planning to be big-time contributors for us last year that were really out. After about the first 4 games of the year,
early
they're
in the
gone.
Year. Yeah.
And, hey, by the way, we got 50 games left, and we're going to have to go, without your 2-hole, 4-hole, 5-hole hitters. And, it was a stretch. So those guys coming back have helped increase our depth, no question, all the way around the field. So
kind of it's almost like getting sucker punched, isn't it? To have those significant injuries that early in the season last year.
Well, I've never been through anything like it. This is my 35th year of college baseball. I've never seen it. So it was unprecedented for me to be a part of it, to see it. And, but I also got to give our guys credit. Not only were we playing an unbelievable schedule early, too tough.
Yeah.
Too tough. That's stupid me, okay? But we're playing that schedule. Now you're been thrown under the bus, missing some of your key guys that you were counting on, your returners. But then to see our guys fight back and to get back to 18-18 at that point in the season before we are hit with another injury or two, and all of a sudden there it goes downhill. I think our players hung together really well, and they made the best out of the worst situation. So hopefully, knock on wood, we don't have to deal with any of those worst situations again.
Got them out of the way all last year, hopefully. Right. How about your schedule? What are some of the highlights? I know you played in that tournament in Arlington.
Really good schedule. We'll play 3 out of the first 4 weekends here. Youngstown State opening weekend, Gonzaga week 2. Week 4 will be Loyola Marymount. All 3, very good programs. All 3 programs that will definitely challenge us, and those guys should do well in their leagues. So that'll be a great start. But then week 3 we're going to go to Globe Life and be in that tournament again. And being in that tournament early in the year, it really pays off 2 dividends. Number one is you're going to get a real test against other national type teams, other Power 5 type teams. We're going to play Oregon State, top 10 ranked team in the country, I believe. We're going to play Ohio State from the Big Ten, and we're going to play Auburn, from the SEC. And so that's going to challenge us. We're going to find out a lot about our club. Where do we stand right now? How are we making, moving in the right direction? But the other guys are going to challenge us too. It's going to be nice to have them here at home, though. So a great home schedule, 33 home games. And once we get through that first 4 weekends, then we're 10 weeks straight of Big 12 play, 5 at home and 5 on the road, and ding ding, answer the bell. Here we go.
What do you think about the new additions to the Big 12 this year?
Yeah, I'll just say this. You lose Texas and Oklahoma, 2 traditionally good programs. That's great. Whatever. The Big 12 baseball, we're not taking a step back at all. I mean, Arizona and Arizona State, and adding Utah as well. Utah's coached by Gary Henderson, phenomenal, longtime coach, great guy. He's doing great things with the Ute program. But, Arizona and Arizona State have won 9 national championships combined between the 2 of them. So we're not going backwards. I think this league's probably as competitive and as tough top to bottom as it's ever been. All over the state of Texas, Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, Houston, really, really good programs. West Virginia's big time now. Cincinnati's made big steps. Central Florida. This league's not going anywhere. KU, K-State, as good as they've ever been, with coaches that are doing phenomenal jobs at those programs. I mean, K-State was a super regional team last year. This league's it's a dogfight every game, and I don't think I left out any BYU. Man, we went there last year. Yeah. They're doing good things. This league's a dogfight. We'll play everybody this year except for we won't play West Virginia. We won't play BYU.
Okay.
And then of course Iowa State and Colorado don't play baseball right now. Right. So, but we'll play the other 10 schools, 5 at home, 5 on the road, and it'll be a dogfight. Man.
So your 3rd season here, how do you measure success this season?
Well, I want this ball. I mean, our goal is to get in the NCAA tournament and have a chance to play to go to Omaha. That's the whole idea. Previously when we were here, we did it a lot, and that's where we're trying to get back to. And so it's been a process the last 2 years in kind of building, and we knew it was going to be that way. I love the kids that have come through here and how they bought in and where we're going. I look back now and I see where we're at right now, and there's definite progress. I think anybody that's been a part the last 2 years will see that progress. And I think that then when you add to that being able to see the talent on the field and see the progress and the depth that we have, but then to add to it just the things that we talked about at the beginning, hey, these guys are killing it in the classroom. These are unbelievable Baylor representatives of Baylor University. These kids are really good kids. They're investing in each other. They're helping each other grow in their faith. They have a passion for winning. Their hard work, their discipline. I think people ought to get in line and come join us. And I know this, that when we fill up the Baylor ballpark, we feel the energy, and we need them there. And I hope that this year, and I believe that this year, we're gonna start the winning a lot more, and it's gonna be a lot more fun to come. And so hopefully we see that, we get some great weather, we can fill the ballpark back up, and become that top 25 team in the country in average home attendance again. Become that top 25 team that's competing to go to Omaha on a year in, year out basis. It's been the vision of the program since day one. It hasn't changed. It won't change. and everybody's pulling the rope in the same direction. So we're excited about that.
Sign me up.
Let's
play
go.
ball.
Ding, ding.
That's great. Hey, thanks very much for your time.
Pleasure.
Prayers for a healthy, safe season, a successful season. It's already successful off the field, and we're counting on it being the same way on the field.
Yeah, well, thank you, John. I appreciate it. Great to be here today, and we're looking forward to seeing Baylor Nation at the ballpark. Bring that big Sic Em, wear your green and gold, be proud. Let's go get something good.
Very good. Thank you, Mitch.
Appreciate it.